What's up? What's happening? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. What's going on, everybody? We're live. Yeah, one of these random my thought videos. Pretty fun. I like doing it like this, so I could just sit there and want to talk about this stuff. Mega 405. But yeah, we're here, man. We're doing this, and so anyway, I know I haven't been doing any content except for just posting the stuff from my gameplay from Hellblade 2 and also from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I got maybe one more to show from Hellblade 2 to finish. It's one or two more. And then there's quite a few more videos from Guardians of the Galaxy. And apologies for people who can't see it. Because of the music in the game is kind of blocked. So unfortunately, it's regional locked in certain places across the world. So for anybody that can't get to see it or whatever, apologies. But it's there with the music and everything. So hope you guys enjoy it. I did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy. Appreciate the fellas asking me to jump on that game. That game was really fun. Anyway, so let's get into it. No further ado. We'll get back to getting my gaming content. I've been drowning myself in the Olympics, which I love the Olympics. I always have. Of course, the politics. Been in that, and then I've just been playing the hell out of college football. And now, since I was waiting for to start the league, I was waiting for my high school and college homies to hit me up so I could join their league. And there was another league that I was supposed to join, but I never got a invite from them. So I was just like, okay. So anyway, I got the invite last night or yesterday evening. I didn't see it until last night. So we're in. I hate it because some scumbag picked OU on purpose. And I know that most of those dudes don't like OU. So somebody picked it on purpose. Some dirty bastard picked it. What's going on, Stanley? You know what I'm saying, Richilli. Sorry, man. I don't know what happened with the little twidget thing that can show like people's whatever. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out, or uninstall it and reinstall it or whatever, because it's wigging out. But regardless, it's okay. We'll figure it out. But I am seeing your messages. I just hate that people can't see what you're saying unless they look on the if they look at it, they can just see it written right there on YouTube. But yes. So anyway, so we're getting to do that because I know I said that I was going to get ready to start streaming me playing sports games and stuff. And so, but haven't got to choose because I was waiting for that. Got that. So anyway, long story short with that is that I was asked which team did I want to pick. And so of course the Wolverines would be my next team that I would like, but I don't want to play with a juggernaut like that. I want to build my team up. So, but if, you know, my two favorite college teams are the Sooners and the Michigan Wolverines. Those are my two favorite college football teams. But I did not want to play with the Wolverines. And so I said, you know what? I want to play with Missouri. But I don't even like Missouri. I know that they're going to be hot this year, but then I'm kind of just thinking like later on, and I know that they're in the SEC, and then I'm going to have to play against one of them ragamuffins that stole OU from me. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to go back to the Big 12 and stay back home. So I'll pick OSU. So I picked Oklahoma State, the Pokes, ew. But regardless, you know what I'm saying, it's still home, and I'm going to build them up, even though I'm probably going to get lit up because old man Bowman, he isn't it as quarterback, but I do got Gordon. I think that's Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I think that's his last name. That tight end running back. So that's who I'm going to be running with. So yeah, get ready for me to start live streaming that. Going through the tournaments and stuff. I mean, going through the dynasty mode through my with my homies, and so that's going to be fun. Also, I know I haven't been doing fight night either. We're going to do that. The Olympics is done. The Olympics consume me. These Olympics were so damn good, so exciting. I was watching sports that I had no idea that I would be interested in. And you know, and shout out to sand volleyball, Spain. Spain, Spain, Spain. Anyway, uh, women's volleyball, outdoors volleyball. But anyway, yeah, I was watching diving, of course, the races, the basketball teams, and then it was checking out the medal count. United States kicked ass on the medal count, but tied with China for the overall gold. China was winning in some crazy type games, and the United States was over there doing their thing. There was a couple of misses that we should have got gold in, but it didn't happen, and that's okay though. You know what I'm saying? Still, overall, we dominated in gold. I mean, in medals as it was, and still tied for number one in gold. So it was all good. It was all good, but it was just very, very, very entertaining. I just get so fascinated by so many people that the athletes, good grief, the dedication that these people put their bodies through, man, it's just nuts. But anyway, I loved it, loved every bit of it. Was just watching it with the family, man. It's just been really fun. And of course, like I said, I've been drowning into the politics and then just playing college football just this whole time. So I've been just at ease. What's going on with you? For the super chat without anything to be saying. I guess you just laughing at me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, USA, 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 baby. Let's go. Yeah. There were so many dope moments. Just overall, just internationally, just seeing those people. And you know what? I never knew that there was anybody from Ireland that was black. I had no idea. No idea. No idea whatsoever. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Had no idea. But it's there. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Oh, yeah. My wife has hit me up. Sorry, guys. Telling her I'm streaming right now. She's not used to me back to doing the streaming thing. But anyway, um, so I'm back. Um, but yeah, a black Irish woman. And she was fine too. She was beautiful. Like, good God. Now I don't know if it's like colonies or anything like that. Like, because there was some people that just like I'm like, hold on, what? But again, that just shows you like our ignorance here in the United States. Like, there's still people feeling like there's just uh, you know, tribal people running around all in Africa when Africa got beautiful countries all within it. You know what I mean? Like, and just everybody thinks like the Middle East is just nothing but desert. And then you got, Dubai and all the rest of these beautiful places around. And so like us Americans are pretty stupid when it comes to not knowing about other cultures. And so that's why I also love watching the Olympics because I can learn different things. But I was not expecting to see a beautiful brown, dark brown Irish woman. That blew my damn mind. And then also, listen, shout out to the French in the Netherlands. I don't know what they put out, what they doing out there, but they over there outrunning, brothers and sisters out there. Like that one white chick from the Netherlands was running her ass off, bro. I was like, yo, and then her voice. She had this high pitched voice, bro. Like I said, I don't want to go all into that crazy. I know this is what we talk about gaming, but still, it was great. It was great. What's going on? He said, Stanley said, yeah, and don't forget, K Mega, the most important part of the Olympics are the bad. Man, listen, bro. There was some bad ones of all kinds, all shades and colors, bro. Woo, man, Lord have mercy. Just a smorgasbord. Just a smorgasbord. It was great. I love the Olympics. So anyway, and then come to find out, which is something that's game related a little bit, that NBC made a huge profit off of the made a huge profit off of streaming, which I mean like that is very rare because streaming is not yet here yet, but now it seems like the market is starting to realize, or the industry is starting to see, oh, maybe this is going to catch on. Maybe this is because it started off where it didn't do, it was, it was starting off kind of slow, but then word of mouth because of the internet. And then so it just brings me back to the point of what Microsoft has been trying to do with Xbox by, because we've always been, all of us, especially me, has been complaining about Xbox, their marketing. And I feel like their marketing strategy is just wild, right? But this hit, right? This hit and this broke. Now, again, I've been saying this. All Microsoft has to do really when it comes to the advertising situation is put their shit on sports, on sporting events. Like all you, I mean, and really all you got to do is show anything from just show Game Pass. I mean, this is where Xbox is right now, is where they're the king of services right now. Like, I mean, case in point, there is, oh man, I was just looking at it, but I think I lost it. I'll look for it again. But there was some numbers that was just being shown, where uh Microsoft, they were showing Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and hardware, of course. Nintendo, God, like 44% hardware, and like they were almost even. They were almost even on software and other compared to in hardware. They were almost even, like dominated in hardware. Sony, of course, was number two um with like 27%, and Microsoft with like 13% of hardware, which we all know that Xbox is not catching PlayStation or Nintendo when it comes to hardware. They're just not doing it. It's not happening. I've made this clear. I've told people this, and I think now people are well aware of where Xbox is in the console space. They're capped, and they're capped the worst out of the three, out of the big three. They're just capped the worst when it comes to the hardware. Still, that doesn't mean that they are going to stop making hardware when we all know that they're going to be making some form of hardware, and it's still more rumors about that. I'll talk about that here in a second. But again, when it came to not live service, but services and other, Xbox dominated everything. Like Sony got cooked. Like, and this is where I've come to the point of trying to tell people, and I've expressed this for years. Xbox doesn't have to win the market share by selling the most consoles. It is a factor, but it isn't the overall factor. And that brings me back to what I was talking about with NBC and what they did with the Olympics. Now I know the Olympics is a different type of deal or whatever, but they made profit off of streaming, made massive profit off of streaming. And it's now got the market believing that now streaming could be on its way to where people are starting to pay attention to it, to where people are like, oh, you know what? I kind of like this. I kind of dig doing this. And so I was just listening to it on the news this morning before I went to the gym, and I was just like, oh, okay. All right, that's pretty interesting. So again, we know that the world is not fully ready for streaming, but the Olympics help this out. Sporting events will help this out. Sporting events will definitely kick it off. And then once everybody catches up when it comes to, the internet, then I think everything is going to be, then Microsoft can go ahead and say, look, you know what, go ahead and let's go ahead and give me that back. And because everybody's going to start catching up, and there's going to be more businesses out there that's going to do that. I think the reason why the EU did what they did is because they knew that Xbox was getting far ahead, and eventually that streaming was going to be something at some point, and Microsoft would have had a foothold and had pretty much a monopoly, because everything else would be so far ahead, just like with the whole situation with Game Pass, right? So because there will be other services that can compete, but Microsoft is already light years ahead when it comes to like the gaming services, like with Game Pass. Like nothing else is touching it, nothing. And people may say, well, it just doesn't have these numbers yet. It's coming. It is definitely coming. There's no question about that. But yeah, no, I found that fascinating about the numbers. I just was like, oh. Like it was like 87%. It was nuts. And like Sony had 73. it was like I said, it was a substantial gap, and Nintendo was way down there. But when it came to overall consoles or hardware, Nintendo like 44%. It was nuts. So like I just 44%, and Sony had, like I said, 27% or something like that, and then um, Xbox had 13%. But then again, come to find out that Sony is down on console sales, which which people should be paying attention and understanding that look, it's almost over for the consoles are on their way to be the disc, the CD, the record. They'll still have a purpose for a lot of people, for millions and millions of people, but it just is not going to be sustained like some people think it is. Like us old heads, we'll always care about a console, but the younger generation, like I've said before, is that they're going to be the ones that's going to dictate the market. And Sony is going to be the last ones to make that shift because they're the ones that's trying to hold on. And in that transition, as we're seeing, is not working for them fully. Concord, nobody's not talking about Concord, unfortunately. They might start talking about it once it comes to become a free-to-play at some point. But it's just you know what I'm saying, it's they're holding on by a thread, and like I said, I feel that there'll be one more generation, maybe two at the max. I think Xbox will be the first one to bow out after this generation, after this next coming generation, when they drop it in 2020, 26 or 27, and then after that they're going to be like, okay, we did our thing, it's over, unless they maintain around the same amount that they have, they will. Like I mean, because we're looking at what, probably 40 to 50 million. Because I mean, I think when I seen what I paid attention on and off. What was they saying? 27. When I also heard that they were already over 30 million consoles sold, but they said, but I think Dustin posted like it was 27 million or something like that or whatever. I don't know, but regardless, let's just hypothetically say 40 million max, right? Well, that's down from what, 10 million, 10, 15 million from what the Xbox One did. Well, I think if you get to the 40 million point, then you could still, I think it's still probably maybe profitable to still make consoles. But if it goes less than that, then there's no reason. There's just no reason, right? So I don't know. And then like for PlayStation to be down, like I've said, PlayStation is capped too. They're not going to catch. They're never going to catch the PlayStation 2, and they're not going to catch PlayStation 4. So that just tells you it goes down. Nintendo will be the one to be the last one standing. Well, I said Sony would be the last one standing. That's a mistake. That was a mistake. I meant Nintendo was going to be the last one standing because people just accustomed to whatever hardware that they make, and they do so many weird changes is that nobody's not going to care, really. So like Nintendo will be the last one. Sony is going to be second. Xbox is going to be the first one to bow out of the console space. We'll get one more for sure. And if those sales are under 30 million, I mean, I wouldn't see why they would still continue to make it, especially if their other services and revenue is going to get higher than where it's at now. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. Let me see what Richilli is saying. He says he said Xbox should purchase SpaceX and paint the Xbox logo on the moon. It's not over for the console. The problem are Sony and Microsoft are being greedy and not dropping the price. They could do 60 million if they drop the price. Xbox 2 terabyte model is a joke. $100. It's $100 for. I'm trying to see this little thing in the way. $100 for whatever for 100 gigs of extra storage or whatever. I mean, listen, that is true too. I thought that the prices would go down, but I don't know, man. Listen, there's a lot of price gouging all over the place, and so yeah, I just think that yeah, you would think, because that's normally what they do with consoles. They drop the price after a couple of years, like 2 years. they keep it around the same price, and then after that third year, going into the fourth year, that's when they start dropping because they're finna drop a new console here soon. So to me, it is weird. And I would agree with you that if they drop the price, that they would sell more consoles, both Sony and Microsoft. But they're not. And I don't know the reason for it. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know the reason for it unless well, because I think they said PlayStation got is now is in profit. You know, they're making a profit of it for now off of their console. I don't know what the number is for how many consoles you need to sell to make a profit. I don't know. So you would think it probably would be 40, you know, maybe 40 million or something like that or whatever. But I was looking at people doing the doom and gloom bullshit when they showed the supposedly 27 million consoles for the Series S and X, and people was trying to compare it to the Wii U. No, the Wii U sold in its lifetime 12 million copies. I mean 12 million units. 12, like it was like close to 13 million. Like, no, that's when you cooked. That's when you cooked right there. No. That's when you cooked. So that's but no, I agree with you, Richilly. I think that could be a possibility where they could make I mean, yeah, they should drop the price. I don't know. And then again, what is the price point going to be for these new consoles? What if they still, I mean, in this Pro, it's eventually supposed to come at some point, right? For the PlayStation, how much is that thing going to be, right? And how much are the new consoles going to be? Like, because regardless of whatever, right? Like, because even though the economy, you know, the U.S. economy is the best in the world, people are still feeling the crunch because of inflation and the fact of, you know, price gouging. That's one of the big reasons. Like, people get raised, but like they ain't drop prices on shit. It's just the same thing of what we're seeing, what she was bringing up about not dropping the prices on the consoles. Like, these companies is on some bullshit. But are people still willing to pay $700? It's according to how powerful these consoles are. Like, again, like that's where we're getting this. We're getting to this point to where there is a line there where the consumer is not going to go, the regular consumer that just plays 2 or 3 games a year will draw a line. Like, listen, I want a PlayStation 6. I want this Xbox, whatever the new Xbox is going to be called, but I'm not paying $700 for it. And then the way that they're not dropping prices now for the Series S and X and for the PlayStation 5, they ain't going to drop prices for that, for the new stuff either. So again, there's going to be, like I said, the $600 mark seems to be the cutoff line for console gamers. Like, you've seen what happened with the PlayStation 3 when they tried to come at people with the $300, well, I mean, with the $600 console. Like, they're like, you're out your damn mind. I'm not doing that. You come up with a console that, regardless of, you know, listen, we are in an echo chamber, right? Like, we talk amongst ourselves, and, you know, the outside world don't talk about the 4090s, the 4080s and things like that when you're looking at what NVIDIA and what AMD is dropping when they're dropping graphic cards, just, you know, a piece of just one device for, you know, damn near $1,000. Some things is $2,000, right? You know, but regular people that just don't pay attention to that type of stuff, they're not caring about that. They're just looking to go to the store to go get a console, and they see this and they're like, nah. And so what's the other option? Streaming. What's the other option? The Amazon stick or Nintendo, because that's cheaper. Or people will get the Series S if they want that. But then, like, or people will just sit and wait until the price drop and they'll play their old stuff. That's the reason why you see what's going on with PlayStation, because there's more people playing on the PlayStation 4 than there are, of course, than the PlayStation 5. And there's a lot of people that are still playing on the Xbox One. Like, you know, the price point counts. Like, people, they probably, for the certain people that just want to get over, that's why I love the Series S for, is for the fact that people could just buy something that's affordable and then just want to just play the new games. That's fine. But I mean, hell, but the Call of Duties and the Maddens and the college footballs and the FIFAs, or I guess it's FC now, and the NBA 2Ks, they're all still being played on the old stuff, right? Like, they still have Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions. So until maybe they shut them off, then maybe people will move on. But but still, they don't drop the price, then people will still just wait and still play their old games. So I don't know, man. It's a pretty crazy situation in my opinion. I don't know. But anyway, want to get into talking about hi-firush. That was really good news. I was very happy to hear this news, and I was seeing people with the doom and gloom. This is a positive story. This is a really positive story. And again, just earlier this year, this was the demise of Xbox, and this was what's going to happen when Xbox get a hold of something. They're going to drop it, and they're going to be gone forever, and it's done. And they talk about the situation that happened with the studio that had Fable before. I can't think of their name right now. But Lionshead Studios, I think that's what it was. But anyway, so yeah, they're this is what happens and all this stuff, and then just wait a couple of months, and here you go. Here's something that Xbox is doing, working with Crafton to still keep the studio, to keep Tango alive, and then also keeping hi-firush alive, which I'm very, very happy for. I'm very pleased. So anyway, let me go ahead and read what this says right here. It said, this is from TechSpot. It says, just when it seems like the curtain was closing on Tango Games work, the studio behind the year surprise hit hi-firush, they received the 11th hour rescue from the unexpected source. South Korean gaming giant Crafton has swooped in to acquire the Japanese developer, providing a glimmer of hope for hi-firush fans. The move marks Crafton's first major investment in the Japanese market, as the PUBG developer aims to expand its global footprint. Crafton now owns the rights to Tango's well-received rhythm combat game hi-firush. The company also mentioned plans to cooperate with Microsoft on a smooth transition to ensure that the current team can continue developing new content for the IP. For fans concerned about their favorite titles, Crafton assured that there will be no impact on Tango's existing back catalog. Games like the Evil Within survival horror series and the recent Ghostwire Tokyo will remain available on all current platforms. However, the rights acquisition appears to be limited to hi-firush for now. Now, this is great news. This is fantastic news. Fantastic news. Because Xbox went ahead and listen, I don't ever try to rain on anybody's parade by saying that you don't go out and speak your mind about Xbox when Xbox does something that you don't like, right? Like I've made it clear how much I was pissed off about letting Tango go because of, hi-firush was a fantastic game, right? But I understood the realities of it because as there were so many people that was bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning, all you got to do is look at the attach rate of how many people beat the game or how many people got past the second boss. And it was very, very, very light. It wasn't that many people that beat the game, and it wasn't that many people that supported the game. Like they just talked about it. Like they might have got to the first boss and then that was it, and then they wanted to talk about it like they bought the game. Like, no. Or like you played it all the way through. So it got exposed, and then again, we saw the stands that got crazy and got hyped which I didn't like to see this game go to PlayStation. I did not. But that game did very poor, very poor. So Xbox had to cut their losses, but I'm glad that they listened to reason and understood that this game was still a significant, like, just wonderful title to play. It was a breath of fresh air. It was so original. It was so good. So instead, if you couldn't keep the studio once the main head guy left, then work it out because they own those IPs. And so now this is something that's going to be even more interesting, right? because Tango is still alive, and so that's great for them. Uh, but Xbox still owns the other IPs. Like they still own Ghostwire Tokyo, and they also own The Evil Within. Now Xbox can go ahead and have somebody else make those titles, but I think this is kind of a situation that's like for Toys for Bob, where they will be like, "Hey, you know what? Y'all get this deal. You're back. Y'all over here developing for this game. How about we set a contract up to where y'all can go ahead and work on a new Evil Within or another Ghostwire Tokyo or something like that. I mean, because those are the studio that made those two titles. So why don't you just keep that was at the former head of it, which I think he was part of Platinum Games at one time, right? What what will happen with hi-firush too? Like, what if hi-firush two is not on the same level of, it might still have the quality, but it may not be in the sense of graphics and things like that. But what if it doesn't have this charm or pizzazz? I would be highly disappointed if it didn't, but I will still have hope that it will. But if Xbox sees that the game does well, then Xbox can work with them to make the other games, and then maybe Crafted will work a deal to try to get those IPs, and Microsoft might be like, all right, cool, whatever. But it is what it is. I don't know how this is going to play out. I mean, I don't play scary games like that anymore. I know a lot of people like The Evil Within, but I definitely want to see another Ghostwire Tokyo. So I'm glad that those games are still there, and I hope Xbox will continue to keep doing the right thing and give us sequels to all of those games because they definitely deserve it. I mean, well, I know that The Evil Within has a sequel, but to get a part three. So I want all those games to continue to become franchises because I mean, man, hi-firush was just so damn good. Uh, are you saying my audio is going in and out? Sorry. I wonder why. Why. I wonder why my audio is going in. I don't know. Hopefully this is better. Um, what's going on with you, Rain? Uh, let's see. So hopefully this is better. Hopefully this is better. I don't know. Anyway, um, let me look at some other stuff here. Yeah, so let me cut this. Try to do this. See right here. See if that cut that down a little bit. See if that helps a little bit. Maybe if that cut that down, maybe that might help a little bit from the or you know what? I haven't checked this out since I okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see if that works better because yeah, I'm looking at it right now and seeing my condenser. Because usually that's why I have it where it's at, right? Because sometimes I'll elevate my voice, sometimes I won't, and then the condenser acts a little weird. Hold on, let me change it again. Let's go. Let me just put it a little bit lower so I don't have to worry about it. All right. Yeah, so let's just do that. And so hopefully that works. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, no, I know people who was losing sleep. I mean, listen, I was upset about it. I was definitely upset about it myself. But I mean, I'm not going off on this tangent on it. I mean, the game didn't sell. Like, I hated that the game didn't sell. The game was just high quality, just fantastic. It was such a breath of fresh air, like I said earlier. But you know, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we just got to be a little patient. We can speak our mind and we could say what we want to, but there was people that was talking about selling their Xboxes. They were doing all that crazy bull crap. I was just like, man, come on, man. We got to stop that. We got to stop that madness. And so hopefully now people will see that Xbox, if you complain enough, you know, the right way, then Xbox will make the right decisions. But if you don't, then I mean, it's just hot ass air. Like I mean, I it is incredible, and I understand that Xbox needs to do this, but well, they don't need to. I mean, they're giving us content up the ass. Like people still treat Xbox as though this is the Xbox One 2017 year, or Xbox Series X and S 2022 year. Xbox is killing it with content. See, you don't see the stands talking about content no more because they don't have it. They don't have it. They get our content and then they brag about it. That tells you how bad it is over there. So the content conversation is over with. Like, so again, people still try to treat Microsoft as though that they're like Xbox One 2017, and that's not the case whatsoever. They are bringing fantastic content. Like Kina's coming here pretty soon. So yeah, and I hope people really enjoy that. That's a beautiful game, really beautiful game. It's really, really, really dope, really dope. And I'll definitely be picking it up again. This will be the no, I didn't get the PlayStation version. I only got the PC version. So yeah, so no, so when I pick it up, this will be just for the Xbox version. So I'm thinking of Sifu. I got Sifu on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So yeah, so um, and I still didn't play. Stray. I know Stray was on Game Pass. I didn't have no interest of running around with that cat. I've heard people talk about it again, but I still like. This isn't my thing. You said the volume is still low. Darn it. Hold on. Let me turn it up. Then let me turn this up. All right. That's what happens when I don't do no streaming for a little while, and then I don't. Then it just kind of I don't know what the hell happens. But anyway, yeah, no flaws, no flaws. Hi-Firush had no flaws whatsoever, none. Just the absolute, just gem. It was like that. That was the thing that just pissed me off about so many people trying to downplay the game, and then all of a sudden, when the game started getting accolades and awards, then people want to talk it up. Listen, that game was one of the most. It was flawless. It had no bugs. And it ran. It had a great storyline. The action in the game was great. It was just god dang. Hi-Firush was just great. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna go through that game again. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and go through that game again. I love that game. I love it a lot. Anyway, so hope the volume is better now. You know, so I'll try to be steel. I don't know. Anyway, um, let's see. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah. Oh, the Call of Duty thing. Yeah, the Call of Duty thing. The marketing. I I ran into that last night. I'd seen the clip from the Iron Lords, and I seen that Cog and Paris, and they were all talking about like that there was supposed to be no that they couldn't market Game Pass with COD or something like that or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Like when they first announced it, they blasted it all over the place, saying that you could play COD on Game Pass day one. So now again, I did see Paris post something that was kind of backtracking a little bit, saying that look, it came from a different source. It didn't come from Triarch themselves. But and listen, the logistics of all this stuff of how it works, there's so much ingredients in the cake. We just don't know. Like, remember, Sony did come back and renegotiate with Xbox once the deal was done and finalized. And it went back to the 70-30 where Microsoft got the 70% and Sony would get their 30%, when it was previously Sony got 80 and Microsoft got 20. Man, good God. Um, and it probably was even worse than that because, of course, Activision is getting their cut. So who telling how much Microsoft's actual cut was? I have no idea. But regardless, Sony wanted to go ahead and renegotiate. So, and maybe in those renegotiations, Sony was like, well, look, we still got one more year on this contract. Uh, could you not promote Game Pass? And so And I know that people is like, well, this is a dumb deal, and Microsoft, why would they even do this? But listen, at the end of the day, Microsoft is going to get that 70%. So it could be that, or Microsoft could just say, look, let's. Well, no, I'm going to take that back because I read that from somebody that was suggesting that, well, Microsoft would rather have the cash, would rather have people buy the game, which they do want people to buy the game, but they want their subscription service to go up as well. So it definitely will, both will happen. But I don't think that, it's not like they're going to lose sleep over the fact that they can't promote uh, day one on Game Pass when they know that they're going to get that 70% cut from however many how many ever million that Sony gamers are going to buy Call of Duty. So it's going to be a win for them. It's going to be a win-win for Microsoft regardless. Xbox is going to be sitting in a pile of money like Scrooge McDuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just going to be in a money bin. They're going to make so much damn money. So listen, if Sony did push that, which again, that's one of the reasons why Sony did not want this deal to go through because of the power of Game Pass, and that would definitely take away players because they would like, look, man, if I could, all I gotta do is get this subscription and pay $30 for the Ultimate Edition. And let's not forget also, you got until September 14th to stack up your Game Pass. So go ahead and do that. I've already got mine stacked up for over a year, but I'm gonna stack it up here at the end of the month so I can go ahead and get close to 3 years. So I'm gonna stack that puppy up, so I ain't got to worry about it until 2027. So yeah, nah, I'm gonna have that puppy stacked up. And then, so whatever that price increase is, I'm not even worried about it. So I think the smartest thing for anybody that's concerned about the price increase, I wouldn't trip about it. Just go ahead and stack them up, at least for a year, and then you can save up every month until you want to get another year. I think that would be the best solution is to buy it instead of paying for it every month because you're paying more money into Game Pass every month. It's just to buy a year or more. Yeah, it's a little costly, but I mean the benefits of it because you ain't got to worry about it until 2026, 2027, or until 2025 if you just get a year. So I just think that that's just a smart decision. But I would recommend that everybody stack it up as much as they can before September 14th. Hell, I think Microsoft will cut that shit off September 13th at 12 when 11:59 p.m. So I would think that y'all would be very cautious not to take it to the last day. So anyway, you've already started stacking. Yeah, that's the smart way to do it. Like I mean that's kind of like how I do it with EA Access, and also with well no, I pay monthly on Ubisoft, which I'm gonna start uh, stacking up with Ubisoft Plus as well. So I just think that that's just the smart. I mean, you save more money at the end of the day. It doesn't seem like it when you spend it, but yeah, you definitely saving more money instead of paying what you're paying monthly on that stuff. But yeah, but anyway, so if there's a negotiation that happened between Sony and Microsoft, I mean it could be for another year. I don't see it being 10 years worth of you can't advertise Game Pass with Call of Duty. I just don't see it, and I just think that if this is true, then it would be only for the year. Then it is what it is. But I just go back to when Microsoft announced it like crazy, and there was trailers and advertisements of it saying day one. Now I know I haven't seen anything lately, so I have no idea. But Microsoft is still going to make their money because the people that have PlayStation, they're going to buy the game, and Microsoft's going to get that 70% cut. So like that's going to be, man, that money going to be nuts for them. And what'd you say, Jax? You said, and I've never stacked since Game Pass launched. Oh man, I got. I got fortunate when I went to E3. Um, they gave us a whole bunch of free. Uh, uh, they gave us a whole bunch of free Game Pass things. Like they would have like little scratch offs, and you would scratch off, and some would say, you know, you get 14 days, or some would say you get you get 6 months, you get 3 months, you get a month, or whatever. And then they had some that was in there that said you get a year. I had two scratch offs that had a year. So I had 2 years. I already had stacked up for a year, which was already solid. And then I kept my cards for the net. I had two other cards that was for 6 months, 3 months, and whatever. Anyway, I didn't pay for Game Pass until 2022. I mean, till I think it was the middle of 2021. That was when I first paid for Game Pass. It was 20. It was the middle end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022. That was the first time I paid for Game Pass. Every other time I didn't. I never paid for Game Pass after that. I mean before that, because when we went to E3, they was just giving them. They was giving them away. They was giving those little cards, and I was like, oh shit, let's go. And I had two-year ones, so I just was fortunate on it. So I was like, let's go. So yeah, no. So I mean, like again, the service is worth the money to me. I just, you know, there's, I mean, I don't get the chance to play every game at the time that it drops, but the fact that those games stay on for so long, they stay at least a year. You know, it's just a great deal. It's just a great damn deal, and then you get the discount on top of that. So you know, it's just really good stuff. Really good stuff. I don't know, but I would recommend to go ahead and stack them up if you're concerned about the price increase. But Microsoft is going to be fine. But I did find it weird. But I've seen the backtracking already. If it's true, I don't know. It is kind of weird. But I also think that Xbox is still watching themselves, because the FTC and and the regulators out there in the EU, they're not playing. They're not playing right now. I don't know if you guys know that Google is fighting for their life right now, because the FTC is in their ass. They're over here because I think there was a case that they lost where they were saying that they were a monopoly, that the Google search engine is a monopoly. And um, so the FTC won that case. So now it's going through appeals and everything else. So there's a possibility, if they don't win in appeals court, that they would have to, that Google would have to sell off the Google search. And listen, I'm all for corporations. And listen, I get why the FTC questioned Microsoft about the situation, right? But what was so ugly about it and so silly was the fact that they didn't do their homework and check out Sony at all. Like, that's what made the whole thing look like a witch hunt. And it made and that's why so many people went after the head of the FTC. But really, the FTC and all these regulators are really pushing back against big tech, because there's a lot of things going on. I just seen something there too, where I guess that Elon Musk is going to be doing an interview with Trump, and and I see that the EU is saying, like, listen, we'll come after your ass if you don't if you bring out any type of misinformation. Now I know that that's kind of like, what are you talking? I don't know. So regardless, but again, it's just that there's this war right now that's going on between big tech and the regulators, and the regulators is trying to reel these billionaires and these big corporations from getting away from all this stuff. Now, I'm all for that. I just don't want things to be so regulated to where a company can't thrive. Yeah, especially like for what Xbox was, you know, what Xbox was trying to do, and where Xbox had to go through all different types of hoops. And then you have another company that's right there that's doing all types of foul shit, and it's not getting reprimanded at all. So hopefully that if that the FTC or somebody or like our officials our government officials will go after Sony and say, look, okay, you're going to have to change up. But then you see Sony has been changing it up a little bit by bringing more games over. We'll see how this all plays out. But I think that it's just a weird dynamic right now that's going on. And I think that Microsoft is still trying to look and see what the FTC is going to do. Again, you want those type of regulations. You just don't want it to seem like it's personal. And that's kind of like what the FTC seemed like since they lost that case to Microsoft, like they wanted to Xbox, Microsoft, for it that's personal, like they want to just stay on them for whatever reason. So again, I think that Microsoft is still trying to stay low and just abide by whatever rules that's going on until they don't have to anymore. So that's why they did the whole 10-year thing. At that point, there'll be different. There'll be somebody else that's going to be in charge, regardless if it's a Democrat or Republican president. It's just what the staff will change over time. So it ain't going to be the same staff in 10 years. So we'll see what happens in that point. But yeah, it's crazy. What you saying, Richilli said? Richilli said, "Imagine getting sued because of being good, bro." Listen. That's funny. He says, well, I do agree the FTC needs to watch Microsoft out with how they play with their words. Increasing Game Pass prices two times before COD releases, which, and this is another thing too, right? Microsoft is slick as hell. That everybody jumped on Microsoft's ass when they raised the price in 2021, and that was the year that there was very little or no first party titles that came out, and everybody was like, no, bro, no. Game Pass was popping, you know what I'm saying? Game Pass, the games through Game Pass was popping, but there was still no first party titles, and that was asinine for them to even think about it to try to raise the price. So they didn't. But what they did is that they hit our ass through the back burner. They was like, okay, they cool now, so let's go ahead and raise this up, and nobody didn't say nothing, right? Because we was expecting. And then they're doing it again because they were just trying to recoup because they knew that they were going to hit our ass again going forward. So that's why I'm like, you know what? You got me the first time. This time, I'm going to get you because I'm not going to sit there and pay that money for some years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and, I like the service. I want to continue the service, but I'm not going to be paying those higher prices each month. I'm going to go ahead and float that shit for the next 2-3 years, if not 3. I wish they could go 4 to 5. I would go ahead and max them out. But but I'm going to go ahead and pay these prices right now and then wait for whatever that's going to come later on, and then at that point I could save some money, have a Game Pass fund for later. So it's whatever. We'll see. But but they did hit us over the head with that. Oh man, I'm sorry, Fox. I'm sorry that my volume's low. It's one of those crazy things. It seems like when I don't stream for a while, if I don't stream or don't do any type of videos, this thing acts up. So I don't know. Hopefully that it'll work itself out. Let me see if I can do this to turn this up or whatever. Where's that? Let's see. Turn it up just right there. I'm hopefully okay. Oh shit! Let me look it up. Okay. All right. Okay. So hopefully this is a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe turn it up a little. That's too loud. Okay. Let's stop that. Okay. Sorry, just to be low. Yeah. Just it's whatever going on here. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, no, I just find it weird. From how they, and then the whole, well, this is hush hush. This is don't tell anybody type stuff, but then yet you tell everybody. I don't know, man. Like this, I mean, listen, I don't know. I just find it to be weird. It's a weird situation. I don't know. I don't know, man. It just you know what I'm saying, like, oh yeah, off the record. That's what it was. Off the record. Um that's so funny to me. So yeah, like it I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just we don't know how these deals work, and then when we do find out about the deals, sometimes they're not as complex as we make them out to be, and sometimes there are some that are really complex. So it is what it is. As long as the game is coming into Game Pass, that's all I care about. You know, I don't want no bullshit or whatever. Listen, I do want Microsoft to have to advertise more, but then they've already come out and they said that like Microsoft do put them on a budget and they don't stray from that, and it is what it is. So they got to be clever on trying to do stuff. And again, since there's not a lot of big time um, Xbox content creators out there, then the message just doesn't resonate like it you would think it would. But it, there's more big time PlayStation content creators out there than there are Xbox. So it is what it is. So it gets drowned. So Xbox news gets drowned out. Best thing to do is just tell friends whatever and post it, and then people will be like, oh, what is this, and then you'll say it to them and then they'll jump on. I mean, it's too good of a deal not to jump on. It's just that it's just going by word of mouth. um so I don't know, that's it on that. All right, so now we're talking about The Witcher. Listen, love it. Glad that they're working on Witcher 4. But I do feel that there's going to be people that's going to act a damn fool. And I've already seen rumblings of it already. And this is what's crazy, because I said this when I posted it, that I guarantee you the people that's complaining about this news from The Witcher 4, I bet you it's 95% of those people that are complaining, they have not beat that game. They have not beat it, because they would not complain if they knew if they beat the game, or if they went even halfway through the game, they would understand that Siri is a very important part in the game. Hell, it's really not even the half of the game. You would get it in the first five hours. For you get to understand how serious Siri is in The Witcher 3. And so if they are going to do if they're going to make Geralt be kind of in the back burner, I mean, the man is old. So like, I mean, he's, let the old wolf man let chill out with because that's what I did. I let him chill out with Tish. I think that's how you say her name. I mean, I like the brunette, but she was too bitchy. So I just like, you know what, and especially how Tish threw that thing on me in Witcher 2. I'm like, you know what? I'm going back to that redhead. She about that life. So that's how I played it. So I'm just like, man, let that man go ahead and be happy, and let Siri be the new face of The Witcher. And also, I seen somebody else. I think it was Pixel that brought that up, which it was Pixel or somebody. I can't remember who said that, but like they would like it if they would put if they would make The Witcher 4 be from other schools. So like from the what is it, the snake, or was that a snake? I don't know if there was a snake. Um, I can't think of the cat. I knew that it was the cat, and there's more, but and that would be cool too. I have no problem with that either. I mean, because there's plenty of other witches out there from different schools, but I think the main will be Siri, because she has a lot of potential. Like when you got the chance to play with her, um, all her powers, her abilities, they were just dope. Like it was just really cool. So I just think that I like it. I really do like it. I like it a lot. I think that what I'm saying. And again, I'm a big fan of CD Projekt Red. So whatever that they're going to do, I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. So It's a great time, definitely a great time. I just think that anybody that's complaining about it, they like I said, they haven't played the game, they haven't beat the game, they don't know nothing about the game, and they're just complaining just to complain, and then they're going to be talking about um, DEI and all types of crazy stuff, and just trying to put a woman in something. I'm so sick of the culture wars BS. Like, get over it. Get over it. Let's say it said they are going to Joel off Garrett, like they did, like Joel off of Han Solo and many other beloved characters. No, I don't see Garrett getting killed off. I just think that he's, like I said, I mean, there was, I don't know how many, was like 100 endings on that you could choose on The Witcher 3. The first time I beat The Witcher, I had the bad ending. I think I got the worst ending that you could get. And that was my problem, because that was my fault, because I played it and then I waited for the patch, and the patch didn't come until a year later, so I forgot a lot of stuff that I did, and so then I just had the worst ending. So I had to go back and I had to beat it again, and then I had like a decent middle ending or whatever, and then when that new enhancement came out last year in December, um, I played it. I went through the game again, and then I had the perfect ending, and so one of the best endings. So I think it was the perfect ending. And then yeah, and I made my choice to be with I told old girl, I told Yennefer, holla. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time on the horse a few times, and it was good seeing you. But you know what? This redhead is where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Witcher 2 action. If you haven't played The Witcher 2, man, Tish is a monster, bro. Anyway, so yeah, I I don't know. I just think it would be. I don't think they're gonna kill him off. I don't see that. I think he just will be an advisor. You'll definitely probably have something to where you'll get to play him, and he'll fight some people off or something like that. But yeah, no, I just don't think that Garrett they're ready to kill Garrett off yet. They might later on in another sequel or something. But I think you would have to build up series story enough in order for you to do that. And then like kind of like how Geralt's trainer or teacher died in Witcher 3. Well, then by Witcher 6, then if Geralt gets killed or something like that, I don't think anybody would complain about that. Like, I mean, again, like with these stories, I understand that we fall in love with these characters, and listen, I love me some Geralt. Like that he's dope. But again, when you're moving on to another character, it's what I'm saying, you don't want that other character to keep being overshadowed by another great character. This is the reason why I talk about Halo like I do. Is like, listen, I love Master Chief, but it's time for Master Chief to go back into cryo. You know what I'm saying? Go back to the cryo sleep for a little while. He needs to chill. He needs to go back and chill out for a while and let somebody else be the face of Halo. Because Halo is bigger than him, and that's something that I hope 343 will finally go back to again, and this time just do it. Just stop listening to the crybabies. Just do it. And so hope they do that. But yeah, no, like Siri, she's badass, and she's got those powers and these special abilities. And man, I can just imagine what the game will look like graphically, and then how enhancements and then she's a Witcher herself, and she's the next generation. So yeah, no, I think it would be perfect. And like I said, if they had spin-offs where they were talking about the other schools, the other Witchers from the other schools, that would be dope as well. Like, I mean, there's just so much that they can do with the Witcher series. But I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's really going to be fantastic. Yeah, I know. I'm hearing that my audio is low, and I'm sorry about that. I hate that. So, I'll probably just go ahead and wrap it up. Because I'm over here putting the mic on my mouth. Pause. Pause. So yeah, so let me just go ahead and wrap it up, man. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. Check it out. I'll do another video this week, another stream this week. I have the video, I have the audio proper. I usually just got to do a couple of some calibrations and stuff, and then it just and it'll just work. And it's like I said, I haven't done anything here in a couple of weeks, so just to go ahead and do this. So I'll just go ahead and get that figured out. But man, thank you guys for coming and checking me out. I will be back again this week. I will be definitely streaming me in this league, in this dynasty league, with my high school and college buddies in college football. Madden comes out I think at midnight tonight, or if not tomorrow. So we got that, and then Thursday I will be playing some kind of fighter. I don't know what fighter it will be. And then also Saturday, I will be on I got the invite to come on to PTK Blam's podcast, so the shop. So I will I haven't been on my boy's podcast in some years, so you know what I'm saying. So it'll be fun to go talk with him. So hopefully you guys will check out the podcast Saturday. So yeah, but yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Look, I'm looking at this college football right now. Look at Coach Lowe. Look at Coach Mega out there getting them right. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm out. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. I'll fix that audio here. I'm sorry, guys.